Hi, I'm Ben Ashley of Ashley Insurance, where we're building a community of great insurance products and great people. What does that mean? Well, as a client of ours, you'll enjoy perks like quick quotes and personalized policies. We shop for the best prices across multiple companies. And most importantly, if something bad happens, you call our team and speak directly with us. So join our insurance community today. Call 304-927-2175 or visit ashleyinsurers.com.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Good buddy Caleb Nichols just about went on the air with us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth of the Raider Review. Yeah, Caleb Nichols with us. Almost got on the air. Hey, by the way, Caleb, I still need golf scores from last week, if you don't mind. So we've got some people here to help us out. We invite you to enjoy the evening here with us. If you have nothing else to do, come on out here to Route 33 Steakhouse. Got a decent crowd here, but there's still some room available if you want to come out and get yourself a real good meal. Listen to the show live, and I did bring the 2 giveaway items, and I already got one submitted question for the first giveaway of the WVRC koozies. Andrew Miller, right beside me. Partner in crime is John Penna. John,
yes.
I want you to see this shirt. Now, I know that people out there may not be able to tell what this is.
I know what that is.
But this shirt is a Martin Sexton shirt, one of my favorite musicians of all time.
Uh-huh.
And I had lost this shirt. I bought this at a concert, oh, goodness, a couple years ago, and the only one they had was a size XL. And I had lost it, found it today, and said, rocking it.
I'm trying it on, and it's all good.
It's all good. Good stuff. circular circles.
All good
up
things.
and down, just like a carousel.
Mm-hmm.
We welcome you to the 5th edition of the Raider Review. Lots to talk about here today. John, before we get into the sports aspect of it, you got a new fridge today. I wanted to talk about that.
I did. Got a new fridge for the man cave. It's been a long time coming. The mini fridge I had broke down back probably in the winter. So I've been without, but guess what? We have a full-size one now.
It's going to be good stuff.
Yep. And Noah put some elbow grease into it today. He helped me out. So, and then you were there to help me while you could.
Listen,
hobbling around.
I provided the vehicle to convey it from one building to another.
Yeah.
That's about all I was good for today. Dealing with a little bit of gout, folks. If you haven't had gout, don't ever get it. It's not a good thing. I want to say hi to everybody tuning in. Joe McDonald made sure that our audio sounded okay. Anthony Browning, I want to say thanks to Anthony Browning, number one. He just said hello, but Anthony was there yesterday over at the lot beside Family Healthcare, and he was instrumental in helping me get set up for our first ever broadcast of a cross-country meet in Spencer, West Virginia. The Spencer Invitational went off without a hitch. A great field of runners from Roane County, from Faith Christian Academy, and then Wirt County and Calhoun County brought a bunch of runners as well. And so just a great time. They did a good job with it. The race itself, the trail that they used was very difficult. I talked to a couple of the winners, and both said that was one of the harder cross-country treks that they have been involved in. Of course, if you're familiar with the Civil War site, you start off right at the bottom of the hill there, and you go up that hill, that big steep hill right off the bat. And that really
I've walked it a few times.
Oh, yeah, brutal. And they were trying to sprint up that thing.
Yeah.
And there are some other uphills and rolling hills up there as well. So good times for that. I wanted to thank, again, Anthony Browning for helping me get set up for that. I also wanted to thank Pat Lance, who was involved in getting electricity for us. Thanks to Richard Lockhart for getting us the results and information. Coach Shandy White also from Roane County. And, of course, who else? Tony McGinnis, who was there running results to us in real time. And Joe McDonald came and helped me broadcast that. And, of course, our buddy Swolby came in after work. He's a hard-working bub these days.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
He did forget to bring the capture card, so I will give him that, especially because he told me I'm not
par for the
fitting
course.
He said, you ain't fitting in no XL, bub. I'll prove it to you, buddy. I'll prove it to you. I want to say hi to everybody. Boots watching from Slate Road. Toby Ford, William the Refrigerator Perry.
That's what we're going to name it, Tobe. I'm going to get a sticker. We got to sticker this thing up.
Yeah. And then hi to, of course, William Harper and Christina Letourneau. We're going to be talking about your young son there here in just a little while. What another effort by that youngster, just a sophomore for Roane County's football team. But, John, we got a lot to get into. Let's talk first about, we did talk about the cross-country race that they had. They are, in fact, in action again this Saturday. They're going to be heading over to Cedar Lakes in Ripley for the Covered Bridge Invitational. That'll be Roane County's boys and girls. I know that on the boys' side of the race yesterday, they ended up having to move back the soccer match yesterday, and so neither Brandon Charles, who's the lone boys runner, or Josie Cox was able to run that race. But we did have a fourth-place finish with Addie Taylor in the event, so good to see that. And I was very impressed. I didn't get the names of some of the kids from Faith Christian Academy. There was a sixth-grade girl, a middle school girl, who finished, I think, in the top 10 in that race.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Pretty impressive. You know, there was a lot of good feedback from that. I've had a couple folks today say, man, that was really awesome. Coach Gray happened to be one of those guys. I was cutting his hair today, and he was at home tuned in. Something really cool that you sent us last night was we had the cross-country meet going on WVRC Roane County. Then Calhoun County had a production going on WVRC Calhoun, and Clay County had a production going on as well. It's just cool to be able to see different counties and different sports from what WVRC is able to bring you.
Absolutely. Let's move into Roane County Raider Golf last Thursday. Yesterday, Tuesday, they were in an event over at Gilmer County. Glenville Golf Club is what they call it, I believe, Glenville Country Club. It was let me check this, 5-team event. You had a couple of Gilmer County teams, Doddridge, Ritchie, and Roane, so an LKC flavored event in that one. The Raiders finishing third in that event. They were led by Eric Starcher, who finished with a nice 9-hole score of 42. Ben Nichols following that with a 45, so a good job by Ben as well. 46 for Watson Nichols, who had a good day as well. 48 for Carter Kinder, and then Wyatt Nichols shooting a 53. Roane County's total score overall, 181. Good for third. Doddridge took the victory with 165, 172 for Gilmer County's varsity group. Also, we had a couple of extras in that one for the JV. The JV actually had their own event here tonight, but thanks to Bubba Kendall, by the way, the coach, he gave me the score from yesterday, and of course tonight the JV was in action in a try, and for Roane County they had a 208, which finished them in third place. And you got to help me with this. Aiden. I got Aiden.
Aiden Jett.
Aiden Jett with a 51. Cash Williams with a 53. Bradley. Help me out with these things. I always look forward to him getting this.
Yeah. Basketball. He played basketball. Bowen.
Okay, Bradley Bowen with a 48 to lead the way for the JV today. And then Joplin Harlan and Reese Thornabar both shooting a 55 for the Roane County JV crew. They were also in action. I want to thank Caleb Nichols, who's here today. Last Thursday in a match. In that match, didn't have the team scores, but we do have final individual scores. Not the greatest day for these guys, but again, they're still starting to peak at the right time. In the event last Thursday, Eric Starcher, medalist for Roane County with a 47, a 49 for Carter Kinder, a 57 for Ben Nichols, a 60 for Aiden Jett, and Cash Williams with a 61 in that event. And as you mentioned, we were talking with Caleb earlier, there's not a lot left in the golf outing because we think the LKCs are coming up this weekend. That means regionals are coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's like when school starts, they're really getting into that to the meat of their season, and before you know it, you're competing for your conference and then your regional and then you're going on to states, and we do talk about it every year. You can go back and watch from previous years, but Roane County seems to figure out. Coach Kendall gets guys lined out, and then they play some good golf when it really means something.
I did not mention, thank you, Toby Ford. I wish he were here. He is watching while working. He's up there at the high school doing the soccer match that's going on right now. Byron Taylor did run for Roane County on the boys' side of the first ever Spencer Invitational yesterday. So wanted to get that in as well. So thank you, Toby, for that one. Lady Raider Volleyball. Now, here's a group that usually plays 15 matches a week. They had a match last Tuesday. They didn't have another one scheduled until yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we would have been there had it not been for our first ever cross-country coverage. They don't have another scheduled match that I know of until next Tuesday. That'll be home versus Clay County. We will be there for that one. But that is very rare to see the Lady Raider Volleyball program not playing a ton. Now, they played Tuesday, and they only played a dual match.
Huh.
So it wasn't a tri, quad, or even 5 teams in it, just one-on-one, mono-e-mono, or womano-e-womano. I don't know if that's proper Spanish. I should ask Jorge while we're here.
Yeah.
So it was a battle. So Poca, if you're a casual fan of LKC volleyball, you would know that Poca last year was tremendous. They're even better this year, right?
I've heard about them.
Took care of Roane County the first time the two teams met. Lady Raiders last night took Poca to 4 sets in the best of 5. They lost set number 1, and listen to these scores, by the way, okay? They lost set 1 25-18, which is relatively close.
Yeah.
They won set 2 27-25.
Ooh.
They lost set 3, 27-25. So those
Whoa.
two sets went into extras. And then the final set, 25-12, Poca took care of things. But I tell you what, that is a battle against a tremendous LKC opponent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If they kind of flip scores there with the second and third game, and then, Poca being a powerhouse volleyball team, you got to hold your heads high. When you compete against one of the best in the state, you're doing something right, and especially later on into the season as well.
Big numbers for a bunch of Lady Raiders in that 4-set loss. As far as kills were concerned, Lexi Mitchell led the way with 14 kills, 10 apiece for Ava Martin and Ella Keene, and Joplin Harlan contributed 4 of her own. And again, Joplin is more or less the one who was setting up the other swingers in that one. As far as blocks, Ella Keene also had 4 blocks. Ava Martin and Lexi Mitchell with 2 blocks apiece. Assists, get this, Joplin Harlan, 30 of them. 30 assists. So obviously the Lady Raiders were talking well. They were moving that ball around well and getting some good shots at the nets. Digs, a ton of them as well. Marissa Holcomb leading the way with 21 digs, 20 for Amelia Pope. Holcomb also had 3 assists of her own. Pope with a couple kills and an ace in that one. 11 digs for Ella Keene, which is kind of a rarity for Ella. She's usually a front line.
Yeah, I was going to say she's usually up front.
Yeah, Joplin Harlan added 9 of her own, 7 for Lexi Mitchell and Brianna Jones as well. Isabella Metz, or I should say Bella Metz, with 6 of her own. So a good battle for the Lady Raider volleyball team and a 4-set loss to a tremendous Poca program in that one last night. And again, Toby Ford says LKC's Monday, 9:29 for golf. So LKCs are coming up.
Yes.
Next Monday, and then the region is the following week. So, yeah, he is not kidding, and you were not wrong. Golf is winding. That's one of those sports, John, that basically starts the 1st of August, though.
Yeah. They start early. They play as soon as they start, basically, and they play all through August. And like I said, when school starts, they're pretty much into the meat of their schedule, and then they move on. So, yep,
So
golf's getting close.
Yeah. Don't forget, Lady Raider Volleyball in action next Tuesday evening at home versus Clay County in a dual match. We will be there with coverage for the JV and the varsity of that one. Also in action last week, it was middle school football. Again, the combined teams of Spencer, Walton, and Gary. And the Yellow Jackets getting it done in tough. Now, as a broadcaster, John, you're going to be fine. But as a coach, I'm sure you could pick apart every little bit of this. This was 2 undefeated teams going toe-to-toe at County Stadium, Roane County and South Harrison. It was a good battle, although, as you said, you could pick apart everything that you all did wrong. But in the end, a 14-6 victory. So it feels a lot better if you're playing poorly and winning.
Right, it does. 14-6 win over South Harrison. So we moved on to 3-0, and it's funny because, we really coached things up through the week, and we thought we had a really good game plan, and we just didn't execute the way that the coaches felt we should. But it was cool to hear the perspective of you and Matt after the game. I'm kind of like, oh, man, we didn't do very well. And you guys are like, man, your defense is awesome. And I'm like, wait a minute. So maybe I wasn't maybe I was looking at a different game. Of course, it is because you're down there coaching these kids up every day. But, yeah, super proud of our guys, 3-0. Can't be mad about that. And we worked on the things that we needed to work on this week, and that kind of brought us back and told our kids and showed our kids, like, any game, a mistake can kind of make things go bad, and you just got to kind of battle back. But us as coaches as well, it was a lot on us too, because there were some things we didn't recognize and things that maybe we didn't put into our practice, but so it was a learning experience for all of us. But to be in 3-0 and one of the top teams in the conference now, it feels good, but you can't be satisfied. So we're going to be back at it again tomorrow night.
Yeah, got another one coming up tomorrow, right back to County Stadium. We will be there with coverage of the middle school football action. It will be Roane County and Braxton County. in middle school football action. Time for the start of that one, I don't even know yet.
It's supposed to be a 6:30 kickoff. Now, last week it ended up being a little later because South Harrison had some bus issues. But it's going to be homecoming for the Yellow Jackets, as well. So we'll have that on at halftime, crowning the Miss Yellow Jacket. We'll do a 15-minute halftime, so we'll add 5 minutes to our halftime. But yeah, some festivities going on tomorrow. Some of our players will end up getting a chance to escort the princesses out, and somebody will be crowned tomorrow at halftime. So come out and check us out.
Going to be good stuff, folks. Again, we're here every single Wednesday night. We invite you to come down, get yourself a great meal, watch the show live, interact with us. We are, at the end of this, going to have our first ever trivia question. This week is going to be the first trivia question because I finally brought the koozies. I brought them last week, and week 5 is the first time we're actually going to ask a trivia question. I want to thank, again, our sponsor, DW Excavating. Without them, we don't get to hang out and have a good time here. Thanks to Route 33 Steakhouse as well, Jorge and his crew, for letting us invade every single Wednesday. We got Coach Burdett coming up. I think he's done eating the Coach B special. We'll check with him and see on the back end.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another action-packed week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders suffered their first defeat in the regular season in over 2 years, falling to the Williamstown Yellow Jackets. The Raiders look to regroup and hit the road for the first time in 2025 as they travel to Braxton County to face off against the Eagles. Roane County High School Raider football is brought to you by these community sponsors: Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Circle S Farms, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, Ward Depew Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, People's Bank, Shamblin Brothers Farm Supply, Stump Funeral Home, The Hungry Moose Restaurant, Paramount Surveying, APS Air Production Services, Spencer Pizza Hut, Gomard and Spencer, Little Canal Bus, Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House, Tudor's Biscuit World, Hardin Insurance Agency, Harris Oil Company, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award, sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 7:05 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM. Can you believe 5 episodes in, John, I almost forgot the intro music?
I can.
Feel awful about that. Did you find which one Burdett is in? I can't hear him.
So it's got to be this.
Is it this one?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Give me another test.
Hello.
I don't think it's that one. I think it's this one. Give me a test.
Test.
That's the one.
Wow.
Coach Paul Burdett. I didn't give you much
usually
in the
pretty
ears.
loud.
I was afraid to give you too much ears because of the levels on the intro music. It almost made Coach Burdett's ears bleed the first episode. So I wanted to guard against that. Jamie Rothfuss tuning in. Thanks a bunch, Jamie. Of course, as always, the Tiger emoji. Is that what it's called?
I guess, yeah.
I'm not up with the lingo. I try.
You're up
my
on
best.
6'7" there right now.
Yeah. What was that? 6'7"? I've never been to 6'7" in my life. 6 foot would be as close as I ever got. Is that even what it's about? Probably not.
No, I don't even know what it's about, but the kids do.
Happy to be joined by Coach Paul Burdett. Coach, you're a little late tonight. I won't hold that against you since you did get fed. So hopefully you enjoyed the Coach B special. We're going to make that change at some point on the actual menu here at Route 33 Steakhouse. We're going to push Coach B special until he changes it.
Yeah. Listen, we'll have one of those fathead things like Angie has.
Those have been outlawed.
It'll pop out as soon as they say Coach B special. It'll pop out at you.
If I have to create my own, I'll create my own. I know Kenny Bunner.
Yeah,
well,
I know a
so
guy.
Yeah. We'll create another one. We'll create a slightly larger one. We'll slap it up behind the Raider Review banner there, or right beside it, actually, right over here.
If you could
Right
stick
over
it in
his
the
head.
chair, I'll just go to the house, see if it'll say anything.
No. They probably give as much information as you do. You're so coy when it comes to X's and O's. I get it. You're not allowed to give a whole lot of information. Coach, let's, of course, go back to last Friday night. I mentioned it was so odd to me as a broadcaster of the last couple of years because I had not seen or called a loss in a regular season for quite a while. So it's kind of new territory for us. Obviously, things didn't turn out the way that you guys had hoped they would. Before we get into the X's and O's of it, let's speak on Brody Proctor, obviously. That young man who's been such an important part of your program since he got to the high school, and we had such great he had such great hopes and was doing such great things this year, and just one of those really, really, really tough injuries that you hate. You always, if you get a little bumps and bruises, some sprains and strains that you can work through, that's okay. That's part of the game. But when somebody goes down, when your teammate goes down like Brody went down and such a bad injury, and at that point, obviously, I mentioned on the air, I looked down there. Of course, you guys were out there with Brody, and then once the team saw him into the ambulance, and then you guys had to come back. It's not an easy thing for a coach to try to go and talk with your guys who just saw their teammate go down like that, and you have to try your best at that moment to refocus your team to say, go out there and play football. That is a tough, tough thing to do. On top of the fact, let's not even talk about the fact that you and your coaching staff are pretty emotional at that point.
Yeah, it's just it's a tough situation, and I don't think you ever get focused back in on the ball game as a player or as a coach. That was a pretty significant injury, and obviously season ending for Brody, and it was just a tough spot. And you tell the kids, hey, listen, go out here and finish this game and do the best you can. Obviously, we still want to try to win, but for them, for us, Brody's right there in your mind. So. Just a tough situation all the way around.
Well, obviously, one thing that really helps the situation is Brody's outlook in general. Obviously, he's very disappointed in how his junior season ended, and, of course, nobody wants to have to go through such a traumatic injury like he has. But I tell you what, he's been public. He's been online. He's been telling people, I'm okay, guys. He's been posting some things. His faith is very deep, which is wonderful for him. And he's been back on there posting music and posting songs, and it's a good thing. I heard he did he go to school?
He came to school yesterday. Yesterday was picture day, and he came in for pictures and to pick up homework, and then he went back to the house.
Okay.
So, but, yeah, Brody's got a very strong faith, and that's, it's very important, especially in tough times, in your personal life like Brody's having right now. That's, Brody's an athlete, and he's a ball player, and
Three-sport athlete as well.
Yeah, and it's just all taken away immediately for the rest of this year. But, we went down Saturday and spent about 2 hours with him before surgery. He was scheduled to be first in line Saturday morning, but they had 3 compound fractures come in after him, and so they jumped line in front of him. And so we visited with him and his mom and dad, and kind of took his mind off of things for a while, hopefully, and laughed and had a good time. And but he went into surgery about 5:30, 6 o'clock on Saturday evening, and was really, really hurting after surgery. But when things are displaced for that long, and then they go back in and get moved, and actually have the surgery, it's expected. And then it was feeling better on Sunday, but then had to get up and move and go home, and the ride and the movement back into the house, and so was hurting a pretty good amount Monday morning. But Tuesday said things felt pretty good, and so just prayers for Brody, continued prayers for Brody that that thing heals and does things the way that he wants it to, the way we need it to, and it's about a 6-month recovery time, and so hopefully be able to come back for spring sports and be ready to go. But he's a tough kid. It's a freak accident. It's the way the worst ones always happen. It wasn't a big hit. It wasn't somebody rolling in on his leg. It wasn't somebody diving at his leg. He was running down the field. Now we tease Brody, and he'll appreciate this if he's listening. I tease Brody all the time that his attention span is about as long as a half a second, and so I tell him all the time he's looking for squirrels. He'd just be out there, and he's here and he's here and he's here. So he was running down the field, and there wasn't anybody directly in front of him to block on the kickoff return. So Brody's turning around looking at Javon, wondering where Javon's running at so that he can change his course. And as he is, a guy comes running down the field in front of him, and Brody's foot is actually planted in the ground, and the other kid is running, and the kid doesn't actually hit him. But as he pulls his leg through to take his next step, his leg hits Brody's leg. Yeah. His leg, the Williamstown's player leg, was moving forward. Brody's leg was planted in the ground, and when it hit, it just so completely unfortunate and just a freak thing. But we talked, and Brody knows everything happens for a reason, and God's got a plan with for why Brody had a broken leg. And, he's going to make the best of it, the best he can. And, good news is he's got a rod in his leg now, so it's going to be tough to break that tibia.
I'm telling you what,
he's kind of bionic now. He should be dunking, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I might weigh him down. I don't know.
I have to think that, the Lord gives your toughest battles to your strongest warriors. And so when I think of things like that, maybe this is happening to where he can show people that you can overcome things like this. And I got to say, Coach, I don't think I mentioned this to you, and I was afraid to mention it to you because it's during season, but I was planning on, after a game on a Friday night this season, bringing Brody in for the homegrown show to play music. And I knew that would be a little difficult because I was worried that you'd be like, are you really trying to take his focus off of football? And so now I can certainly, as soon as Brody is well, I talked to his mom on Sunday. I said, as soon as he's okay enough, he can be, it doesn't matter. As soon as he's okay enough and feeling up to it, we're going to have ourselves a Saturday night homegrown show. Yep. He's going to be the guest in there. He's going to sing some songs, and it's going to be a good time for Brody to be in there with us. And so I can do that now. I can say it now without causing panic.
Brody's got a great voice.
It's crazy.
It's tremendous, and he's very talented with the guitar. And
I'm looking forward to seeing that new Sweet Maroon Walker that he's got.
I saw that last night. It looked pretty sweet, didn't it? His dad Scott done tricked that thing up.
Yeah.
I saw somebody posted once they posted the picture of it that E.B. Kuhn was like, we can get a front plate for number 5 on that if we want.
There we go.
The crazy thing, though, guys, I mean, you think broken leg, you're laid up, and they told
they
Brody,
made him walk,
right?
right?
Get up and walk.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But there he was. He come in the classroom yesterday and spent about 25 minutes in my classroom. He's in there hopping along with his walker. I said,
looking like Drew.
Just keep trudging along, big guy. Yeah, I hear somebody's got the
bad case
gimp,
of the gout.
the gimpy gout.
Oh, listen, I may or may not have a case of the gout right now. If Adam Anderson's ever watching this show, let him know that I feel terrible, and this is my penance for making fun of him. When he was in his 20s, I thought it was an old man disease. I had no idea, and I didn't know how bad it was. I just thought you had those brown orthopedic shoes. Everything was fine. I did not know that I feel like I'm walking around with a broken ankle. Speaking of broken bones, not to dismiss Brody's actual broken leg. Let me just say this hurts right now. I'm just saying.
Well, you proved your own point because you said it was an old man's problem, and
here we are.
here we are.
I used to make fun of Adam for it too, and we were at a bowl game somewhere, and he just stubbed his toe, in a 30-minute fetal position ordeal, and
Tears running down.
yeah, and Jared's like, it's serious. So
I felt bad.
Toes aren't anything to mess with, fellas.
No.
I have had the worst case of turf toe.
Sean.
Sean Black says, don't feel bad about making fun of Adam Anderson. we kind of enjoy it still, Sean. So, Coach, obviously and again, a loss is a loss. You hate to lose. It happened the way it happened, and the perspective you get is it's just a daggone loss. That's what it is. Maybe it happened at the time it needed to happen, in that you're like, okay, listen, okay, we're so focused on trying to win ball games, and okay, we're worried about our brother now, and the fact that we lost a ball game, it sucks. It's not what you wanted to do. It's not how you wanted to Friday in, but lets us remind ourselves that this is a game of football, and so you got a ton more left. It's one loss, and I think you came up against a team in Williamstown, and I said this pregame, and John, you'll back me on this. I said, we've watched them. I said it to Coach Burdett in the pregames, like, the 0-2, you better not even look at that. They've been improving a bit. They'd had some issues with turnovers the first two games. Did not have that in this one. I thought their offensive line was just they were on point, and that Kerr running back was as good as we thought he could be. And I thought they all, with those young guys, any momentum that they got, they built on that. And it was almost like once they got that momentum in their brains, they were not going to be able to let up with you guys. And, of course, we were in the red zone through 4 or 5 times and did not score 3 of those, or 2 of the 4, 3 of the 5, something like that. So those little things, you've been doing this long enough, those little things just really can be a domino effect. It can kind of just go that way, and sometimes when it goes that way, it's kind of hard to get it back.
Well, I was taken back immediately to the opening drive against Frankfurt in the state championship last year, and I still feel today if we score on that drive, it's a different ball game.
Yep.
Who knows what the outcome is, but I think it's a different ball game. And I really feel that way about Friday night. I think if we're able to go right down the field like we did, and we stick it in the end zone. Not that I'm not saying they're going to quit,
right?
But they don't have the momentum spark that they had after getting a stop, and then, obviously, 3 plays they were in the end zone, and
again, you got them deep in their own territory, which is normally, our bread and butter, and they got loose on a real nice read by Breck Allen, their quarterback. So,
yeah, when it comes down to it, guys, as a head coach, I didn't do a good enough job preparing my guys, and so that's how it goes, and I take the blame for all of it, and we got to be better, and I got to do a better job. Coaches got to do a better job, but momentum is quite a force in the game of football, and if you just can't get it back on your side, it makes it really hard. And we were down 13-0. We came back and was able to start getting the ball moving and getting ourselves in the end zone, doing things we need to do. And it just seemed like every time we were trying to grab the momentum, something would happen and give it right back. And we just never were able to grab it and keep a hold of it. And that makes things hard.
Coach, you were so close. If the connection between Jake and Javon is made in that moment, it's a 6-point ball game. That's a moment in the game in my mind that was like, okay, if that was connected, we're back in this. We're gonna come back in this thing and make it a dogfight to the end. And we're talking about fingertips. I think Jake, by the way, is throwing the deep ball so daggone well right now. He is laying it in bread baskets. It's so much fun to watch. And he's got guys out there who've got some speed, none maybe less than Javon Letourneau, who is getting himself free. We said after the first game, or during the first game, John, we said, AA football, you better recognize who Javon Letourneau is, or don't. We'd be happy for that. But I think that weapon and the weaponry that you have, and again now sans Brody, there's going to be someone else who has to step into that moment. But I think the way you guys are coming into form with the pass game, with the deep passing, you guys are going to be so dangerous, so much more dangerous as the year goes on.
Well, it keeps defensive honest, keeps them
Yeah.
honest is what it does. I mean, when you're able to take the top off of it, you know, you've got to honor the pass. You can't, the majority of Williamstown played a 62 because that's what Williamstown played. It's nothing that they made up to play against us.
Right.
That's just their defense. When you line up double tights, they're going to be in a 62, and we knew that, and was, we worked on it all week. So, but yeah, the pass game is definitely it's been a big part of what we've been able to do this year, and we've really been offensively uncharacteristic because a majority of our touchdowns have come on big plays.
Yeah.
It's not
Not
the
the drives that
typical
were-
grind it
Yeah.
out. It's big plays, and here you go. And
Yeah.
It's not the 9.5 minute North Marion
Right.
drive to win.
right.
Oh man.
All right, I lived that one once. But, I mean, Rhodey going out creates its own, it created its own set of issues. We had to come back in on Sunday night as a staff and rearrange and
Yeah.
figure out, who's
Three
best fit
sides.
where. And,
All three, yeah.
So-
special teams, defense, and offense.
Yeah, so it's a change. Obviously, I mean, Brody's a big cog in what we did. So, but we made our changes and we presented to the guys on Monday, and we went out on the field and did a little work on Monday and Tuesday and then today. So,
On some grass today.
well, yeah, we went to the practice field today. That's the first time in 4 years.
I'm watching. I'm kind of like, what is going on? Where are these guys going? There's nothing over on the other side of the fence, and then I see the coaches all getting in vehicles. I was like, whoa! I hollered at Starcher. I said, "You guys going on the grass field?" He said, "Oh yeah." I said, "You guys wearing all white Friday night?" He said, "No, sir."
Well,
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Get out there and run around on the grass field.
Well, you got
how was our field down there?
it's great shape.
Good.
Really, we had to look for sloppy stuff. We found it.
Cool.
But, we need to feel it. Obviously it's going to rain all week, and that, Braxton's field could be a little bit slippery. And so we wanted the guys to get down there and feel it and play on it a little bit. And so it was good practice, but, when you're used to stepping out of the locker room and onto the field, and
It's a little different.
yeah,
Well,
it
Coach-
wasn't my funnest time getting in the truck to drive over the hill.
Well, we put
how
an
many
ex-
how many times up and down the hills though?
plenty.
Tons.
Oh, my gosh.
Tons.
Well, Coach, we put an exclamation on last week's loss, and we refocused. A lot of games still to come. In fact, only one for you because you won't go forward past this one. We're going to talk about the next game coming up here on Friday night. We'll hit the road for the first time in 2025, the first of 3 straight short road trips this year until the last one. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Got to thank our sponsor, though, DW Excavating. We'll be right back.
Since 2019, DW Excavating has been serving Roane and surrounding counties. We offer services including, but not limited to, repairing driveways, construction site preparation, drainage solutions, property brush clearing, farm road construction, culvert repair and installation, and utility line installation and repair. We provide free estimates. Check out our Facebook page or contact us at 304-532-2968 for more information. DW Excavating, taking pride in our work and in our community. DW Excavating is a proud supporter of all Roane County High School athletics. Go Raiders!
Hello, Raider fans. This is Andrew Miller, voice of your Roane County Raiders, inviting you to join us for another action-packed week of Raider football on WVRC 104.7 FM. Last week, the Raiders suffered their first defeat in the regular season in over 2 years, falling to the Williamstown Yellow Jackets. The Raiders look to regroup and hit the road for the first time in 2025 as they travel to Braxton County to face off against the Eagles. Roane County High School Raider football is brought to you by these community sponsors: Roane General Hospital, McIntosh Hardware, Furniture and Appliance, Jack Garrett Ford, Ashley Insurance, Joel Baker Law, PLLC, Route 33 Steakhouse, Miller's Suds and Sales, Roane Self Storage, Circle S Farms, Backwood Ramblings, Stats Pharmacy, Honest Fred's Flooring, D&D Motors, Hildreth Supply, Family Healthcare, Groves Auto, or Depew Realty, Penna's Barbershop, Norman L. Daniels State Farm Agent, Hardman Supply, ECI Environmental Compliance Inc., Carpenter's General Store, Mini Hamilton Health Systems, Poca Valley Bank, Rich Top Rentals, Spencer Cash Saver, Brandon Dental, DW Excavating LLC, People's Bank, Shamblin Brothers Farm Supply, Stump Funeral Home, The Hungry Moose Restaurant, Paramount Surveying, APS Air Production Services, Spencer Pizza Hut, Gomard and Spencer, Little Canal Bus, Gino's Pizza and Spaghetti House, Tudor's Biscuit World, Hardin Insurance Agency, Harris Oil Company, Kirby Insurance, Calhoun Banks, and the Player of the Game Award sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts. Join us this Friday night. Pre-game coverage begins at 7:05 p.m. and kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. right here on your sports leader, WVRC 104.7 FM. Few minutes left in episode 5 of the Raider Review. And happy to be joined by the better half of our crew for broadcasting, Matt and Katie White. Caleb Nichols, the rest of the crew hanging out with us on this Wednesday night. I want to give you guys, although it is thinned out here a little bit, I wanted to give everybody a chance to win one of these koozies. So I wanted to ask a question that has been asked on this before. Okay? You're not allowed to answer, Coach Burdett.
Okay.
John Penna, you're not allowed to answer as well. But I will leave it up to those out there in Radio Land. All right, here's the trivia question. Who is the only Roane County football player ever to be selected as a captain of the North-South All-Star Game? Who's the only Roane County high school football player ever to be elected captain of his team? Do you know it?
I do. Of course I know it.
What do you got for us, Caleb?
Can you hear me from here?
I can hear you.
That would be, I'm pretty sure my fellow Roane County class of '97 alumnus, Sean Black.
Holy cow. Sean Black is the answer. We asked that a couple of years ago on this show. What do you want? You want maroon? You want...
I already got one of those.
Coming in, his fellow compatriots from the class of 1997, Caleb Nichols got that one right, Sean Black. Sean was giving me some information today that I did not know about that. I tell you what, I remember...
He and Jared, right?
I remember that he and Jared were in that North-South All-Star game, and I do remember being shocked because I was there. He had, I knew he had a big game, but I didn't know how big it was. Let me look it up real quick here because he had it down there for me. I was like, you had that good of a game? I knew it was a good game. So, in that game, 12 tackles and a fumble recovery for our quarterback / middle linebacker, Sean Black, who got that defensively, obviously.
Yeah.
What a game it was. I don't remember the final. He said they won the game. Some Donahue kid from Ravenswood kicked a field goal, and he ended up winning the MVP, which, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Remember that
Ravenswood.
name.
Yeah, I may have said some choice words to Sean about Donahue's at the time. I'm just kidding these days. That was my hatred from back in the day when I was still getting whipped by Ravenswood in basketball.
Yeah,
okay?
so by the way, Ravenswood, WVRC Ravenswood has a really good ring to it. Just throw that out there.
Listen, if you're a Ravenswood fan and you would like us to take over broadcasting over there, we'd be happy to do it.
We do football, basketball, wrestling.
We're expanding all
volleyball,
the time.
golf,
we'd be happy
whatever.
to do it. So Caleb Nichols with a nice victory there. Sean Black, the only Roane County football player ever to be a captain of the North-South All-Star Game, and he didn't have a bad game on top of that.
Seemed like it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, very good game. Coach, we put a nightcap on last week's game. We refocus, and Roane County hits the road for 3 straight. Let's talk about this game coming up. Braxton County. This is a team that you guys have handled pretty well over the last couple of years. And, again, they continue to try to figure out who they are up there in Flatwoods. I think that this year they've got a pretty good group. They're still kind of raw, if you want to call them that, from what we've seen. They do have a couple victories. So you're thinking, okay, this team is trying to learn how to win. So obviously it becomes vitally important for you guys on the road to try to jump on these guys as quickly as you possibly can to kind of, as we said, eliminate that momentum that they could build. And that's something that for you guys talking about this week, how to refocus on another game this week. There's nothing better like salve on an itch or a scab than a new game. And a new game is what you guys have coming up in a couple of nights.
Yeah. I think Braxton County's got a very solid football team. I think they got skill all over the football field. And those kids are young. They played 10 games last year, most of them as freshmen. And then they come back as sophomores, and they're getting better each and every game. The running back, I can't tell you names. I can never tell you names, but I can tell you numbers.
Just numbers.
4/15, as good as the guy that played at Williamstown last week. That's my thoughts on it. He runs the ball very well. I think he sees the field great, makes good cuts, and when he comes downhill, he lowers his shoulders and runs tough. Those guys, and it's not just him. I mean, they got two tight end or split ends that are really good, 3 and 42. Number 10's got good wheels. Number 4's a tough guy, or 8, I'm sorry. 8's a tough guy. The quarterback is 11, 12.
Their jerseys change their numbers change, so that's a little difficult. What I've seen is a lot of different formations from them.
They do.
So it's a lot of different things that you got to get right defensively.
Yeah, I mean they'll go double tight stick eye, and then the next play they could be in 4 wide receivers. So they've got a good team, I feel like, and they've got a couple wins under their belts and. Played a couple other pretty good football teams and played them pretty tough as well. So can't look past anybody and got to focus really on ourselves and getting ourselves back to where we need to be. And but while doing that, you got to face another opponent, and so you got to prepare for them. But I think the field probably equalizes things Friday night as well. I don't know. See what the surface is like when we get there, but
rain in the forecast.
Lots of rain tomorrow,
week,
and it's not been dry this week so far.
Well, I mean, as dry as it has been, it's probably taken a little bit to soak that in because they play a lot of sports on that field.
They do, and we watched them play Ritchie County, and number one, the kicker kicked a 52-yard field goal last week.
Man? Yeah,
but then
sophomore.
And he lined up for a 42-yarder. He missed it, but. In golf terms, he hit it a little fat, and you could just see the dust roll off his foot.
Yeah.
So it could use a little bit of water, I'm sure. I don't know, maybe excessive amounts isn't exactly what we're after, but we'll see. It'll be the same for both teams. So just excited to go get back on the field and hopefully right the ship and get ourselves headed back in the right direction.
Well, obviously you guys got some X's and O's to work with. Again, you're going to install some new players, new places, obviously with Brody out. So there's a sense of refocus for you guys just automatically anyway. But it's hyper-focused after your first loss in the regular season since 2023?
Yeah. We don't we haven't been very accustomed to this feeling that we had Friday night.
North Marion last time, right?
The last time was North Marion, week 10 of 2023.
Yeah, so and knowing these guys, as we all do, they're probably not exactly thrilled about losing, so they're probably ready as ever to go and get back on the football field and get a game in against Braxton County. Again, Coach, you always talk about this Little Kanawha Conference. The Little Kanawha Conference is kind of having some sort of weird rebirth when it comes to a couple new teams in the conference with the changes in classifications up and down. You've always really put an emphasis on Little Kanawha Conference championships, and you guys have done a great job with that. You've already taken care of Clay County on the Little Kanawha Conference schedule. Braxton County's that next big step here for you.
Yeah, we end up playing 6 LKC teams this year, and now there's 10 AA teams in the conference. I mean, for years we had 3. You finally get some teams back in the mix, and so anytime you play a conference game, anytime you play any game, but especially a conference game, you want to be You know, you want to be on your toes and ready to go, and you know, focused and tuned in to what's been going on all week long. So just excited to get back on the field and get it, hopefully wash that nasty taste out of my mouth.
Nobody likes losing, especially Coach Paul Burdett. I'll tell you that. I've known him long enough. Coach, you've known him long enough. John, you've known him long enough. He isn't thrilled about not winning ball games.
Yeah, you know, it's a thing you don't like to do here in Roane County. Thing we don't like to do.
Well, Coach, you got another great opportunity, obviously, on Friday night. Let's talk about the weather again. Flip that meteorology hat on. We've had rain finally. You know, I know last week you were calling for rain as a farmer, and so happy to have some rain in the forecast. But it won't stop now. It's going to continue to rain this week, correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the one game we play on grass this year, get some moisture. No, it's going to continue to rain. I guess tomorrow looks pretty rough, especially later in the evening. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, John.
At least you're on turf, Penna. It'll be all right.
I know, but still yet.
Yeah, I think the majority of it will be gone by kickoff on Friday, but you know, it'll be the
damage done.
aftermath of what has happened up to that point that maybe it's going to be dealt with on the field.
And as you said, you know, with that field getting so much use, John, there's a lot of dirt, a lot of less grass, and so dirt, water together don't mix too well. They make mud. They make slick playing surface. Both teams got to play in it, though, as you say. So, obviously, Coach, we wish you the best of luck coming up on Friday. We'll be there with you for the kickoff for your first of 3 road games here this week. Looking forward to getting back at it. I like to get another game in. Nobody wants to continue to think about that Williamstown game, so let's get to another football game. John Penna, as always, you get the lastish word.
Lastish, yep. So tomorrow evening, come out and bring your umbrella, it seems like, or a or a pop-up tent. The Yellow Jackets will be taking on the Braxton County Knights.
I've already got that listed on OBS. Too.
Good. At County Stadium, and it's going to be a 6:30 kickoff if there's no bus issues again. And it's also homecoming, so an extended 15-minute halftime. So we're looking forward to getting back on the field as well, middle school. And then, man, what a game to go watch on Friday night.
Yeah.
Just the Raiders getting back onto the football field, getting back on track. I wouldn't say Braxton County is really a rival game, but it's an LKC game that we've played for a long time. And, you know, Braxton County has not done well since 2020, and that was a rough one there. But, yeah, Roane County's looking to get back on track.
Coach, you'll be up on top of the roof tomorrow.
If it's raining, I'll be up on top in the press box.
He'll be sitting right beside me. We'll just have to mute the entire broadcast at that point.
Oh, gosh.
Folks, we invite you to join us again Friday night for high school football, Roane County at Braxton County. Again, tomorrow we'll have special live coverage of the Spencer Middle and Braxton Middle football game. As John Penna said, 6:30 is the scheduled start time for that one. Don't forget, folks, Saturday I'll be over in Arnoldsburg all day for the Molasses Fest. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on WVRC over the next few months. Looking forward to Friday Night Football here for all of us at WVRC. Thanks to Coach Burdett as usual. I hope the Coach B special gets officially added. Thanks to Jorge and his crew here at Route 33 Steakhouse. Thanks to Penna for joining me. Thanks to DW Excavating for being once again our exclusive sponsor of the 5th edition of the Raider Review. Be back again next Wednesday, folks.